Ricardo, how impressed were you with Zirkzee?
I think was the key player of the season. He was the center of the squad in all the plays, and also a center for our manager, for Thiago Motta. Andy said it all. He was a leader inside and outside the pitch. Was decisive in the last meters with his goals, but as well as his assists.
It's really interesting, Ricardo, that both you and Andy have obviously spoken about the talents that he has, but also his personality as well. You've both used the word leader. Do you think that has played a major part into why Manchester United have signed him?
Manchester United needed to come back to the levels that was about 50 years ago when Alex Ferguson left the club. So, yeah, I think that it's really important for Manchester United to sign these kind of players that can help the club in the future to regain that the kind of mentality, that kind of Mamba mentality that Joshua Zirkzee has.
Ricardo, what do you think are his standout attributes? What are his main talents that he possesses?
Joshua Zirkzee is a really fan of basketball, so I would compare him to like a playmaker for the team. He comes to search for the ball, he plays for the other players, and he moves around, creating space for the wingers to attack the space in the last 11 meters to score. But he also is a really good attacking player, offensive player that can score anytime with also a lot of skill in his pocket to use during the match. So he's a really good, around well-built player.
So he sounds over ready then, Ricardo. He sounds like he's ready for the Premier League. Do you think that? Do you agree with that?
He will have to have some time to adapt to English football. That is more about rhythm and everything. In Italy, it's more about tactics. But I think that Joshua Zirkzee can make a good key player for Manchester United season. But as Andy said, you have to give him confidence, because the more confidence you can give him, the more he's going to pay you back with good goals and assists for all the players. You said it before, to play with Rashford and Højlund. I think it's going to be really important for the manager to set up this kind of formation, to let him grow with the team and help the team winning more and more matches.
And another player as well that I just want to throw in here, not necessarily a player that Zirkzee will help, but a player that I think will help Zirkzee a lot. Playing with Bruno Fernandes, obviously he spent time in Italy. He's one of the best creative midfielders in the world statistically. So Ricardo, how much do you think Zirkzee will benefit and grow as a striker playing with the Manchester United captain?
He can benefit a lot with Bruno Fernandes creating for him spaces and everything, because Zirkzee has a lot of space to move, especially when the defense is really high in the pitch. He can create a really decisive play. I can quote one for you. For example, in Italy, when we were against Rome in Roma, we won 3-1, and the assist for Saelemaekers was fantastic. One-touch play for Saelemaekers, and he can create this kind of mentality with Bruno Fernandes, swapping and trying to create as many goal possibilities as possible for Manchester United.
Andy, is there any other player that you would compare Zirkzee to?
I think, in my opinion, he's very similar to the kind of player that Alexis Sanchez was for Arsenal way back in the day when Alexis Sanchez was really thriving under Arsene Wenger. I think he is that kind of player who can unlock the team, who can give space, who can give a lot of open space to guys like at the time Alexis Sanchez had Olivier Giroud. He gets the whole team going. That's what makes him special, and that's why I wouldn't want the Manchester United to put too much pressure on him from the get-go, because it will take time for him to be able to, as Ricardo said, to read the Premier League, because that's a whole different reality than Serie A. but he has the tools to do it. He can learn, and obviously with the connection with Erik ten Hag, also speaking the same language, that will also help him a great deal.
Absolutely. Let's hope we're getting the Arsenal version of Alexis Sanchez,
Well, yeah.
not the Manchester United version that we got. Ricardo, I want to ask you quickly before we let you go. Obviously, you're someone who's commentated on Bologna, so I do have to ask, what is your favourite Joshua Zirkzee goal that you have commentated on? Can you describe it for us?
I mean, the goal against Sassuolo in away in Sassuolo was amazing. He dribbled the goalkeeper and he dribbled past him and he scored. This is the kind of place that you would expect from him all season long. He's that kind of player that creates plays from nothing.
Andy Mattioli from the Roma Press and Riccardo Tomasi, who commentates on Bologna. Thank you both very much for joining us on Total Sport this evening, getting the lowdown on Joshua Zirkzee. Right then, Em, you're off for a bit, aren't you?